Hey, this is Meredith's husband. I've got some SEO advice for you, but I'm going to keep it really simple so that you can understand it, so it makes sense, and most importantly, so you can actually use it.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm tired.
Yeah? Did you sleep well last night?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I crashed.
I think I don't even remember.
What was it that we were talking about last night? And you said, "Oh, save it for the podcast."
I have no idea.
Damn it!
Not a clue. Let's fast forward a little bit. We're going to need to reactivate your blog.
Right.
I
started writing some.
So that's an important thing, and that's something I want to talk about. Why do you blog? Because I have a feeling lots of people, everybody knows they should be blogging.
Yes.
Everybody hears it's good for SEO.
Yes.
I know why it's good for SEO, but I think a lot of people don't. They just think, yeah. So what is the advice that you're getting in the photography world in terms of blogging and how you should be going about that?
Well, blog often, and Google likes new entries. Google likes it when there's activity and new activity on your site.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, that's pretty much it that I know, that I remember. But realize I also tune out a lot.
Right.
Because I'm me.
Yeah, there is something to be said for blogging. You want to maintain an active blog. If you have a blog that the last post was from 10 years ago, Google's going to look at that and be like, okay, that's probably that's not an active blog.
Yeah, sleeping on the job.
Yeah. But it's not like you have to, it's definitely not like social media where you need to blog every day or multiple times per day or anything like that. And I would say, so what do you like if when people say you need to blog or you're trying to blog, what do you blog about? What do you write about?
Well, I don't.
Okay. Well,
but for example, the blog that I just wrote, and I have to kind of be in the mood and just poof it out. So recently there is a new addition to Park Slope that is phenomenal to me. Our local fire station has recently adopted a pig, and her name is Penny, and her Instagram is Fire Pig Penny, I think. And so I spoke with the owner, asked if I could come take some photographs for them, and fell in love with Penny, just in everything. And she also influenced all the firefighters to no longer eat pork, which as a vegetarian makes me very happy. So I created a blog from that.
Okay.
And right now it's just words because it's something I care about and love, and it's important to me.
And that's a good blog. Because when you create blogs, you want to think about, there's a few reasons that you want to create blogs. Number one is you want to answer specific questions that your target audience might have. Something like, that's why you probably hear things like blog about how to take better pictures with an iPhone.
Yes.
You want to answer very specific questions. The more specific they are, the better your chances of showing up when somebody makes that search. That's one reason you get direct traffic like that. Another reason is to attract links. So people, for one reason or another, either from social media, from other blogs, any type of website might link to your website because those links are going to improve your overall SEO. So the more links you have, the better in general.
Okay. And when I ask someone, "Oh, can you link to me?" What does that involve?
So there's something that, if your website is going to link to my website, then somewhere on your website, it's going to say something, just some words like, here's Chris's website. And those words are going to be blue and underlined. That's a hyperlink. And you click that link and then it goes to my site. That's a link from your site to my site. That's all that is. And links can be words. They can be images. They carry more weight if they're words.
Okay. So if somebody said photos by Meredith Zinner Photography and that wasn't highlighted, is that a link?
No. That's a mention. If you can't click on it and have something happen, that's not a link.
And does it have to link to my website, or could it link to social media, like my Instagram site?
It could link to your, there is
page.
Ideally, if you want to improve the ranking of your website, you would want to link it to your website. However, Google sees they see your social media platforms. They know, they can put 2 and 2 together and say, this Instagram profile links to this website, and so does this Facebook and this Twitter and this YouTube. And so you have this kind of, wheel of properties, and your website would be like the hub, and then your Instagram and your Facebook and your YouTube would be like spokes,
branches.
Yeah. But anyway, that's getting a little too involved for right now, I think.
Okay.
What I wanted to mention is when you blog, I think this is a really important concept to understand. When you're blogging to attract links, it helps me, and I know it helps a lot of other people, to think about blogs in terms of resources. You're not creating a blog for somebody. You're creating a resource for them, something for them to use. That makes
more sense, actually.
Yeah, and that, for me, when I started doing that,
more sense.
Yeah, that really flipped a switch when I first heard that. And I heard that from a colleague of mine who was working, he's an SEO, in-house SEO for a company, and they do phenomenally well. And they do it through creating blogs. And I was talking to him one day, just out of the blue, and I said something about his company's blog, and he's like, yeah, we don't do blogs. And I was like, what the heck? You have like hundreds of blogs. That's all you do. He's like, no, those are resources. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah. He's like, we stopped thinking about them in terms of blogs and started thinking about them in terms of resources, and it changed everything. So I think that's the way, if you want to attract links and you want to use your blog for SEO, which is one of the main reasons, it needs to be a resource. It needs to be helpful. It needs to be something that other people share and they use for some reason.
Right.
Now, what about the actual content? What do you blog about? So for SEO purposes.
Sorry.
So let's take your site, for example.
Yeah.
You are a children's photographer in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So your blogs, you want to make your blogs relevant. So they should be either about children's photography.
Right. Children.
They could be about children. They could be about photography. They could be about Brooklyn, or they could be about all three. So your Penny the pig. Was it Penny?
Yeah.
So that's Brooklyn.
Right.
And people are going to love that. They're going to like that. That's going to be something that people will probably share. And it covers one of your 3 aspects. It's about Brooklyn. And that's as important as anything else. Really, when Google is looking at your site, they're trying to decide, what is your site about? How good is it? And in your case, like, where is she?
Right.
So when you're talking about Brooklyn and you're using these terms, like, and they can be, specific to your neighborhood, like Park Slope, or you can have even things like phone numbers or addresses. Those are all geographic signals to Google that kind of tells Google where you are. And this used to be, you've probably seen websites that say like, New York photographer,
yes.
New York photography,
yes.
New York pictures,
yes.
New York.
Yes.
You don't need to do that.
Oh, you don't, because I see everyone do that, and I think, do I need to do that?
It used to be, years ago, that was a decent strategy, but you really, you really don't need to do that. It just turns it does 2 things that are bad. It turns your visitors off because they're like, look at this garbage, and it turns Google off because Google can see, they're just trying to plug in all these terms to get better rankings. This is garbage.
Yeah, because I was told, you need to put all your keywords in your blogs.
Yeah, no. I mean, there are some places you need to put your keywords on your website, but especially your blog, you don't need to worry about it. Just be natural, and Google is going to pick up that language. Like if you're talking about crazy. Penny the pig at a fire station in Brooklyn, Google's going to figure that out. You're like, she's in Brooklyn.
Right.
Similar, if you have a blog about, children, and if you're doing something for like a children's daycare in Brooklyn or something.
Or that time I volunteered for.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Google's going to know that you're talking about children. Like they're gonna put that together. And if you can show to Google that your blog and your website is about those things, Brooklyn, photography, and children, guess what? You're gonna build authority for all of those things.
That's great.
Yeah. So you don't need to say, I'm a Brooklyn children's photographer in Brooklyn, New York, photographing children and kids and
in Brooklyn and pets. I love photographing and being a photographer,
right? And
doing photography for kids, children, childhood, parents, families, and more.
Yeah. You don't need to do that anymore.
That's
you used
great
to
know.
Like 10 years ago, you did that. But now just be natural. Think about your geographic market. What is it? It's Brooklyn, it's children, families, it's photography. Talk about those things. You don't need to repeat things over and over.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a very good lesson.
Yeah, we're gonna actually put this into practice.
Okay. Soon. Yeah. Next October, over the summer.
Sooner than that, I hope.
Thank you so much.
We have to do it soon. Otherwise, you're going to lose your good rankings.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Until next time.
Bye. Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope that you find this helpful and useful. And if you do, what you could do for us as a thanks would be to, drumroll please, leave a review. Yes, everybody says it, I know, but it really does make a difference. Take 3 seconds, leave as many stars, say something really nice about what you like about the podcast and maybe why other people would like it. It would mean the world to us, especially my husband. That better? All right, I'm going to try one where I'm not going to be charming.